welcome to UC Today. I'm Susie Harrison, Senior Content Editor, and today I'm delighted to be joined by James Arnold Roberts, who is CEO at telecoms carrier Voiceflex. So welcome to James.
Hi, thank you, Susie. Looking forward to it.
So can you tell us about what you think are the most important trends in the tech market at the moment?
Yeah, no, of course. I think to start with, if we just kind of take a little step back and just look at the kind of overall European markets and kind of where we sit, just to kind of frame it. So if we look at kind of the cloud comms markets currently, the UK is a laggard compared to the US and weirdly Netherlands and Portugal. So it's interesting to see kind of where it sits, but it's ahead of the mainland European countries such as Spain, Austria, and France. But over the next 4 years, the UK growth is going to go from 45% up to over 90%. So by the end of 2028. So it's a, a really, I think, golden period for the cloud comms market space in the UK with how it's going to grow over that period of time. That by the end of it, we will be the leader in the European market space for cloud comms and just slightly lagging behind the US. So I think the market is showing there's a huge potential for growth and for margin. That if we then break that down into the UK space, the space that kind of we Voiceflex play in is the SME space. I mean, it accounts for 99% or 99.9% of the business population in the UK. And if you listen to the analysts that Gartner, IDC are saying that area is going to grow by just under 10%. So you've got a UK market space that's growing rapidly and a SME space that's growing at CAGR growth of over 10%. So I think there's been a lot of focus in the UK on the enterprise space. I think the SME space for growth has been probably unloved. But I think the hyperscalers are now looking at moving out of that enterprise space and into the SME space as the enterprise space becomes a lot more congested, therefore margin poor for them. So they're looking at what else and where else they can go. But I think in that space you need to be agile and you need to be very commercially flexible with
Right.
putting packages together for that space.
You mentioned cloud as an area of growth. Do you have any other key areas of growth that you are predicting?
Yeah, I mean that's cloud comms, not just cloud. So it kind of sits across the various areas. But I mean, if you look at what the analysts are saying, so Gartner, analyst Mason, and Carvel probably being three of the largest in our space. That SIP, so legacy SIP services is everyone's talking about potentially decline, but these are saying there's still going to be a 12% CAGR growth over the next 4 years. That Microsoft Teams 18% CAGR growth, voice enablement. So what's voice enablement? So integration with AI, integration with bots has got a 15% growth. And the one interestingly leading the charge in our tech space over the next 4 years, according to the analysts, is WhatsApp for Business. That's got a 20% CAGR growth in the SME space over that 4 year period. So for me, it's very much being and working with a business that has got the ability to deliver services for WhatsApp, for Teams, around the enablement, so AI and bots, huge topic. Everybody's talking about how do we monetize it, and then down into SIP, so
And
the legacy piece.
at Voiceflex, you've been using the term Techco. Can you tell us what you mean by that?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, it's Techco wasn't something that VoiceFlex introduced into the market, that it was a strap line that actually came from Gartner. So it was Gartner's positioning was that you are a technology centric business where your strategy is driven through continuous evolution in ops and products to grow and differentiate your business. So for me, that means it's a business that's got technology at its heart. It knows how to create a go-to-market for our partner community because we all sell similar services. So we need to make them easy to consume. We need to make them easy for our partners to deliver out, have the ability for those applications to deliver outcomes. All our end resellers, their customers have got digital transformation plays they're going through. They're all going through them at different speeds and different times. But what they're looking for is an outcome to their problem. And so what we're looking to do is deliver our partners a easily consumable toolkit that they're able to fix their customers' problems whilst making decent margin off the back of it.
And you mentioned this growth in WhatsApp. How Voiceflex sort of rising to meet that growth?
We'd spent the last 18 months looking at the market and looking at how do we have a platform again that is easy to consume, that gives partners the ability to white label and to make margin off the back of it. And we're now working with a partner that can deliver all those pieces. So it's not just delivering a WhatsApp solution, i.e. the number, but it's delivering the ecosystem around that. So integration into somebody's CRM system, integration into somebody's UCaaS or CCaaS solution. So it's blending the solutions together. So it's not just in a isolated silo, but in horizontal integration parts, so people can consume the different applications. And WhatsApp are incredibly difficult to work with directly. There are very few in the UK at the moment reseller propositions. There are a lot of dealer-based propositions out of the US. But obviously we know the market in the UK is very much reseller focused. So our key was being able to take an application that they can consume as reseller, that was white labeled, that would deliver on services that are not just delivering a number, but that ecosystem around it where we feel our partners are going to see the most growth and the most margin.
You touched on it a little bit earlier, but what do you view as a good Techco business? What are the qualities of that business?
I mean, if you look at what good looks like, I feel that there are probably 8 different boxes that you need to have a tick on. So the first one being geographic coverage. A lot of businesses are now looking outside of just in the UK. Their customers are looking at breakout and delivery of services into Europe, into the US. So you need to work with a partner that's got that ability to deliver those services, not just into the UK. Commercials, so commercially being able to provide obviously competitive pricing, but pricing that is either bundled together if that's what the customer wants, or we're seeing more customers and partners that are looking at being broken out. So it's having the flexibility to deliver commercials to your partner channel that they're asking for, and not just putting them into you can buy box A, B, and C. I think is key. Then automation and being able to deliver that automation via a white label portal that everybody's talking about. How do you automate? How do you integrate with API first technology, which is great, but we also believe to have a wrap around that allows our partners to white label our services, because nearly all our partners have obviously got their own go-to-market. So we want to add value to that and let them deliver the services. As I said, we're giving them a toolkit to be able to provide and fix solutions. Other is reputation and customer excellence. That we're all selling similar services. So how do we differentiate? One of the big ways is through reputation. So Voiceflex, we've got 20 years worth of legacy experience in the space. Also CX, that we've put an awful lot of time and money into NPS and CPS with regards to scoring. So listening to what our customer base is talking about, what they're wanting, listening to the trust pilot. So I believe our last score was 66 and 4.8 on Trustpilot. Enablement services, so going through the services that I've been talking about. So being able to deliver legacy services and understand that legacy voice and SIP, being able to layer that with Microsoft Teams, with the ecosystem around that. So CCaaS, CRM integration, integration into bots, integration into AI. So enabling the community with services, as I said, not just siloed but pulled together. Legacy support, so UK especially with BT and the supposed 2025 turn off. Obviously BT, as we know, has pushed it out. Surprise, surprise. So being able to provide our partners with a solution that deals with the analog systems going away. So not just looking at the future of the shiny, but also understanding that the pain points they're going to have. Then one of the most important, I believe, is software development capabilities. So having your own development house that is not offshored, not bought in, but you have it internally. You're able to execute digital transformation strategies quickly. That you're able to listen to your partner community and make changes with how and what you're deploying. And it's one of the areas that Voiceflex has probably invested in more than any other over the last 4 years. And then the last one is to wrap all of that up in a SLA and solution resilience that the business community expects. So 5 nines uptime, no single point of failure, and all that good stuff. So hopefully that kind of covers what I feel what a good Techco business would look like.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. And so, what are the drivers for the shift from Telco to Techco, and how is Voiceflex tackling this?
Yeah, no, great question. I think it's a myriad, but I'll home in on 4 different areas that I feel are important. So, first one being technological advancements. So, I think everybody would agree that the space that we're in, so the tech space, is evolving faster than it's ever evolved before. I think looking at the next 3 to 5 years, that's only going to speed up with the development of cloud computing, AI, IoT. So it's changed our customer demand, and I think it got accelerated threefold, if not more, over COVID. And people suddenly realizing, especially in the SME space, where previously an owner would have technology but I don't think they realized how key it was for the business. COVID, overnight, they had to have the technology. So it's become from a nice to have to an absolute criticality within the smaller businesses. So I think businesses and the customer demand is changed. Their buying demand and their buying savvy's changed. And I think a lot of them are now looking at how can we have enterprise grade solutions and applications but delivered to us. And how do you deliver those solutions quickly, cost effectively, and with the wrap that our partner community want? Then from a Voiceflex perspective, we've got competitive pressure. The market is moving. It's moving from that telco to techco. The Gartner is saying by the end of 2025, the 75% of telcos are going to be techcos. So we've got that competitive pressure to change. Because if we don't, the partners will vote with their feet. And I think Analyst Mason did a recent study that showed now for the SME business, working with a partner that is able to provide them with that ecosystem is more important than ever. And then the final thing is the change in regulatory and compliance. That I think is a major shift if you look across Europe in how you can deliver, where you can deliver. So it's making sure that you've got the regulatory environment ticked as well. So I think that the four shifts, so technology advancements, customer demand and customer buying changing, competitive pressure within the industry, and then the last, the regulatory.
Great, thank you. Well, we look forward to continue to reporting on it at UC today. And thank you for joining us for this conversation today, James from Voiceflex. And if you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel for updates on videos as they're released. Until next time, thank you for watching.
Thank you, Susie.